we are going to continue our Election Day coverage. I'm going to pass it over to Ron and Mary with a Utah political expert, but also a very familiar face and friend.
That's right, the legendary Rod Decker. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You've probably covered more Utah elections than any person alive.
I'm a contender. I'm a contender.
That's a good way to put it.
What that means is I'm old. Yes.
And experienced. Okay, let's talk about experience. Let's start with local. Some of the local races. We have the county mayor race, and we have some.
The gubernatorial race.
We have a full slate of local races, but in Utah, it looks as if it's going to be more of the same. It looks as if we've got Republicans going in, we'll have Republicans coming out. Now, that we could be surprised. We've been surprised before, but that's certainly the way to bet.
Okay, the gubernatorial race, we know that Phil Lyman has been a little bit a thorn in the side of Spencer Cox.
And Spencer Cox's people are just a little bit worried. Yeah. The polls show that he's going to sail in, but Phil Lyman's out there. He went to the Utah State Supreme Court. He went to the United States Supreme Court. He ran an ad with Brian King, the Democratic opponent, who could slip in because you have Lyman beating him from one side and King beating him from the other, and Cox could end up without a majority. Possible.
So Lyman could take away some Cox votes, so King might get more.
Might slip in.
Yeah.
Slip in. That's,
okay,
that's the way it could work. Now, unlikely.
Yeah.
Okay, the Republican Party, and you and I were talking yesterday, is moving away from Republicans more to Trump.
The Utah Republicans, the first time Trump ran 2016, Utah was the lowest Republican state that voted Republican. 45% voted for Trump, and that's astonishingly low in Utah. Next time, 57%, a little above average. Right. This time, it might be even higher. In the meantime, Mike Lee, who didn't vote for Trump, is now a very strong Trump supporter, the senator. Governor Cox, who spoke against Trump, is now a Trump supporter. Mitt Romney, who spoke against Trump and continued to speak against Trump, is out of politics.
Out of politics now. For now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, what about congressional races?
Okay, the congressional races, they've got, the big fight was in the Republican primary. In the Senate, and we have 4 House races, and in 3 of the 4, there were serious primary battles. Close primary convention battles. The way it works in Utah is you go to a convention, then the people who either gather signatures on ballots or who come out of the convention go to a primary. Well, the convention, almost none of the people of the Republican nominees won in their state convention. The convention is strongly Trump, and it went against Cox. It went against Mr. Curtis, who's running for the Senate.
Right.
So they lost in the convention, then they won in the primary. But the big fight was before they had to face the Democrats. The Democrats may turn out to be the easy part. Traditionally, they have.
What about the Salt Lake County mayor's race?
Salt Lake County mayor's race is a serious race. Jenny Wilson, the incumbent, is running for a second term. She's opposed by an attorney, Aaron Ryder. Aaron Ryder is running largely on taxes. She says we're taxed too much. Jenny Wilson wants a $507 million bond for new jail facilities.
Which is on the ballot.
Which is on the ballot. It'll be decided by the people. Ms. Ryder says, no, we won't do that. The county should be able to come up with its money internally.
Okay, and what about those bond measures?
Okay, we've got big bond measures for a new jail, essentially, 800 beds. Some of them will be softer beds. They'll be more for treatment, more for homeless people who commit small crimes.
Or mental health.
It's attacked, as I said, by Jenny Ryder from the right, too much taxes. It's attacked from the left, too. Activists say, look, these are just people who are poor, hanging out on the street. Maybe they do a little drugs or get caught shoplifting or something. We don't need more jail beds. Give them treatment, treat them nice. Don't put them in jail, even a soft jail. And in addition, there's a big bond issue for schools.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the presidential race. And this is probably the craziest national campaign that you've probably ever seen.
It is very crazy, and we just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It'll be up to 7 or 8 states, Utah not being one of them, and it's just nobody knows. The polls may favor Harris a little, but Trump maybe. But that there's betting, like there is on the Super Bowl, and the betting favors Trump.
What about your experience with the influence of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on the presidential election and Trump specifically?
Okay, in Utah divides by religion. Latter-day Saints vote Republican, non-Mormons not quite so strongly, but they vote Democratic. So Utah goes Republican. But Utah isn't very big in the national scheme of things. So while in Utah, the Latter-day Saints are very influential, nationally they don't amount to much.
Okay, so what do you think is the biggest thing we need to take away from this election cycle?
Well, it depends on who wins. If Trump wins, it is a major revolution in American politics. It means that the old progressive started with FDR, is in trouble, has been rejected pretty decisively. I mean, he's a felon. He just says to heck with all the progressive values of inclusion and anti-racism and things like that. And it'll be a major revolution if he wins. If Kamala Harris wins, then it'll be the establishment survived. The establishment, they came right up to the gates, but the establishment turned them away.
Made it happen. Okay, and Rod, you're back to help us with our coverage later this evening, right?
I'll be here tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, a long day for you, but this is kind of what you live for, right?
This is fun. I don't live for it anymore.
Well, that's right.
But
just fun.
But every now and then I sort of snort and paw the ground, and it's fun.
We're glad to have you. Thanks so much,
Thank you
Rod.
very much.
We loved having you here, and thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right.